Greetings and salutations. All praises and glory and honor to the Most High. In the name of Yeshua, through His precious Spirit, His existing, great living Spirit. Pray you all are having a marvelous rising and a purpose-filled rising. On purpose, in purpose. The beautiful gems in Proverbs 13, though. So, I was just reading to myself, and I was like, Father, I gotta share this with the fam. Beautiful. I want to start with verse 1. Proverbs 13. A wise son heareth his father's instructions, but a scorner heareth not rebuke. A man shall eat good by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of the transgressors shall eat violence. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life, but he that openeth wide his lips shall have destruction. I want to highlight that. Keeping your mouth. Get a lot of that in James too. The soul of the sluggard desire and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. I'm going to get a precept for that. I think it's Proverbs 6. Wait, that was the other one. I'm going to get a precept for that one. That's sluggard soul. I just got this email. But the liberal soul shall be made fat. Proverbs 11. Proverbs 11. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. Shall be watered also himself. So liberal, or giver, loving to share. And if we're talking about labor or giving or water or anything, it's in regards to the word. Giving our lives and our bodies over to a higher as a living sacrifice, which is pleasing unto him. A righteous man hateth lying, but a wicked man is loathsome and cometh to shame. I want a definition of that word, loathsome. Causing hatred or disgust, repulsive. A wicked man is causing hatred or disgust. Oh. Let me write this in here. Cause hatred. Because what I did was I wrote down for stripes on a little note. Proverbs 13:10 one day. So I said, let me come over here and read this. Righteousness keepeth him that is upright in the way. Look at that, y'all. Upright. Oh, last night I was reading too in the bed till I fell asleep. And I saw another upright. Every time I see upright, I get excited. like I'm in a crossword puzzle. Let's read it again. Proverbs 13:6. Oh, sometimes I have to be careful when I smile. I have strong cheekbones. My tooth. Righteousness keepeth him that is upright in the way. Upright in what way? In the way of the Most High. Psalms 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the unrighteous, nor standeth in the way of the sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. So the way, but his delight is in the Torah law of Ahijah. In his Torah law doeth he meditate day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The unrighteous are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the righteous shall not stand in the judgment. Therefore the unrighteous shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For Ahijah knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the unrighteous shall perish. So he knoweth the way. Why does he know the way? Which means a righteous man's steps are ordered by him. So righteousness keepeth him that is upright in the way. What is righteousness? Righteousness is observing, believing, and having faith in the word. But according to Psalms 119, 142, 142. I'm in good spirits. I thank you, Father. 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness. So what is everlasting? His word. And thy Torah law is the truth. Did not Yeshua say, I am the way, the truth, and the life? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. All right. Verse 7, Proverbs 13. I'm going to type verse 7. Oh, no, it's already on the title. That's right. There is that maketh himself rich, yet hath nothing. Maketh himself rich. His faith is of himself. He relies on his own riches for self. There is that maketh himself poor, yet hath great riches. Now, what do you mean? What's going on? When one is making themselves rich, their faith is within them. But if you make yourself poor, what are you doing? With the wisdom of the Most High, we understand in this one, if you have great riches, that means you are poor in spirit. So when we're living in spirit in a kingdom that is natural, others don't understand. You're perceived to be a weirdo, or they probably say crazy, a bum. But all the while you have great riches. The ransom of a man's life are his riches, but the poor heareth not rebuke. The light of the righteous rejoiceth, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. Remember, we were just reading in Matthew 25. Grand Rising. It's all right. That's all right. No. Doing something for the Most High. Only by pride cometh contention. but the well-advised is wisdom. So back to verse 9. The light of the righteous rejoiceth. But the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. The anointing of the righteous rejoices. Remember, we were talking about putting on the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. You think about the parable of the 10 virgins in Matthew 25, 5 wise and 5 foolish. The foolish ones were foolish because they had no oil. David said that thou anointest my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Come on. David! You didn't have to do him like that, David. Oh. TK. Oh. David said, a cup running over. He said, I ain't halfway. I ain't playing. I need that overload. Okay. How was it running over? Because he stayed in worship. Every time heaviness came, he said, I'ma just praise the Most High. I ain't got time for this. You better hear me today. So much we can learn from our word, this rich, beautiful word. We just in Proverbs 13, though. I mean, come on. Let's read some more. This is beautiful. So by pride cometh contention. Was not the pride of Lucifer contending with the position that the Most High gave him in his position in his throne amongst his heaven, in his heaven, that brought forth contention, that he thought he would be like the Most High and overthrow the throne of perfection and righteousness, pureness. After all, look at his kingdom. Is this anything someone should desire? No. But with the well-advised, it means you've been advised well. So what does it mean, well-advised? Well, let's see. You are well aware of what is written in this word to understand the reasoning behind the contention. Oh, I'm dealing with this kind of spirit. Okay. Oh, that kind of spirit. So I know how to pray. I know it ain't even necessary for me to say anything rather than just show. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished. Did you hear that, America? You hear that, all you pride ones out there? All you thieves. What profit was it after all to be established by something that you stolen? When the earth doesn't even yield the fruit without the seed going in it. So what law does a thief live by? Or better yet, a murderer. Will they not need to be required of that blood? Wealth gotten by vanity. We're talking about vanity wealth. So it's not saying that you can't get wealth, but it's talking about vanity. You don't want to be vain, nor even use the Most High's word for vanity, which is a commandment he has forbid us to do. Shall be diminished. Let's get a more clear. We understand what diminished means, but just get a more clear definition of that word. Made smaller or less. A diminished role for local government. to give an example. So, America. So, you vain profiters out here in the land, everything you got is going to be basically worth nothing. The sooner the more approaching our kingdom's coming, the more and more your kingdom is becoming worthless, dingy, okay, torn, ripped up, holes in it, raggedy. But he that gathereth by labor shall increase. In other words, we were watching last night as a family a documentary on after we were so-called freed as slaves, how our people were tricked into being slave worker or like, mine workers and having someone faulty charges on them. You know how that serpent just cunningly, subtilely just connives to cause others to do his work. He just can't stand to do anything himself. Well, as we were watching that last night, I was in complete grief. I began to get on my face and pray. I said, Father, this is disgusting. Something needs to be done. And I know the Good Shepherd heard me. He heard me. The documentary was called Slavery by Another Name. Just like we have several names they identify us by. It was always a name game tied to an oppression game. They just changed their measures and means of torment. And a lot of what we were watching in this video, it says See Black Power is the channel where we watched it. You all as your family could do this as well. To educate your children. Remember, we're still homeschooled. So we educate our children in things that we could see the word be manifest, where Ahaya can be glorified, and we can educate the children on things that are important to us. We don't give a John Brown about any of Americans' history other than we see it through our history. And that history simply always seems to show just how vain the nations are. But allow me to show you just a minor clip of how vain these devils are.
Along with it, the entire U.S. economy is disrupted as well. What had begun as
the U.S. economy is disrupted.
That was probably going to go nowhere.
Let me tell you something. When our people were beginning to be, when they were free, they wanted their own schools. They actually wanted what was lawfully required of us. Do you know it's by law of the Most High's commands that we build our own homes, that we grow our own vineyards, that we have our own education system? We meditate on Torah day and night, so we don't have time to be learning about your curriculum. It's against the law. Do our own marriage. We have our own ceremonial laws, our own feast day laws, our own dietary laws, our own civil laws. We had our own laws given to us by Ahaya, the Asher Ahaya, the great I am, the living, existing Father above who created heaven and earth. But the Edomites did not like that. So they began to come up with little cunning ways of vanity to destroy us. Do you understand that you could by no means be reasonable and civil with a brute beast Let's get the scripture for that. Psalms 94. Psalms 94. Do y'all realize when I even communicate about this stuff, it makes my whole demeanor switch? I get into this place of, oh, Father. O Ahia, to whom vengeance belongeth. O Ahia, to whom vengeance belongeth. Vengeance belongeth. Show thyself. Lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth. Render a reward to the proud. Ahia, how long shall the wicked triumph? How long shall they utter and speak hard things, and all the workers of iniquity boast themselves? Yeah, you gotta know how to work a good Negro. Yeah, wipe that blood off our uniform. Yeah, you hardworking Americans. Yeah. They break in pieces thy people, O Ahia, and afflict thy heritage. They slay the widow and the stranger, and murder the fatherless. Yet they say, Ahia shall not see, neither shall Ahia or keeper of Jacob regard it. Understand, ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when will you be wise? He that planted the ear, shall he not hear? He that formed the eye, shall he not see? He that chasteneth the heathen, because he don't chastise you, he chastises those he loves. He chaseth the heathen, shall he not correct? He that teacheth man knowledge, shall he not know? Ahia knoweth the thoughts of man, that they are vanity. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathered by labor shall increase. Who gathered by labor? When you came up with prison and industrial work, when you just kept on, with your new subtle beastie ways of vanity to establish your going and to lay your foundation, which is not sure. O Edom, Moab, and Ishmael, Hagarenes, Tebons, and Tyre, all of you, how long did you think he was going to allow you to pursue your wickedness on the earth? We are witnesses to you all that if he spared not his own, my. I'm going to need to pull my chair up a bit here, lady. Like I'm pulling up my sleeves. I need to read some more Psalms 94. Go ahead and keep my bookmark there. Ahia knoweth the thoughts of man that are vanity. So he knows which ones were vain, not laboring. He knows as we were out there sweating, being brutally chastised, abused, neglected, abandoned, overlooked, how they stood there proud and pompous in their suits. It would make our people walk in gutters if they were walking down the sidewalk, if they even dare to spit, if they even dare to look them in the eye. Had our people so hungry they had to steal pigs, coming up with pig laws. when our Father forbade us to even eat swine. Blessed is the man whom thou chastisest, O Ahijah, and teacheth them out of your Torah law, that thou mayest give us rest from the days of adversity until the pit be digged for the wicked. For Ahijah will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance. But judgment shall return unto righteousness, and all the upright in heart shall follow it. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity, saith Ahijah? Unless Ahijah had been our help, our soul had almost dwelt in silence. In other words, we would have no defense. We would have nothing to say. But you gave us a song. You gave us your word. You gave us your son. It gave us a plan. When we said our foot slippeth, thy soul, thy mercy, O Ahijah, held us up. In the multitude of our thoughts within us, your comforts delight our soul. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with us, or with you, which frameth mischief by law? But they act like they do. Your judicial system, you fake people, pretending to be people of uprightness. You, Israel, lees. You, the state of Israel, the state of three deities of one. That's who you're united under. That is your deity. No, I'm done crying. I'm done. They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous Confederate Union, Psalm 83, and condemn the innocent blood like they did to our king, like you Romans did to our king, our black king. No, he wasn't black. He was a melanated king. But Ahijah is our defense, and Yeshua is the rock of our refuge. The word of the Most High is the rock of our refuge. He shall bring upon him their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yeah, Ahijah, our keeper, shall cut them off. I'm going to show you all a clip really quick, and we're going to get back to Proverbs 13.
All of them had their own justice of the peace. In the case of John Pace, he had a man named James Kennedy. Mr. J.W. Pace and I are brothers-in-law by marriage. I went to work for him on the 1st of June, 1891. And if they wanted a man convicted of any particular thing, then they simply had their own justice of the peace or the justice of the peace of one of the other families declare.
Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with you, O Most High, which frameth laws by mischief?
Someone to be guilty. Note, in none of these cases that I have spoken about did I receive 1 cent of costs, nor was I paid in any other way by Mr. Pace or anybody else for trying these cases.
Liar.
And after I worked that 10 months, my time was out on the 10th day of July, 1902. I told him, my time is out this morning. He said, go ahead to work. I said, no.
They don't even stand by their own word. Had the man sign a piece of paper and said that you would only work for me 10 months. When his time was up, he said, my time is up. No, go back to work. For it is written that our father told Abraham, 400 years your children shall be in servitude to a people that is not their own in their land. I'm going to get it for you. Genesis 15, 13. Would you have it? Genesis 15, 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. Our Father's going to have to judge y'all because you will not. You refuse to do right by with your own self. You refuse to take account, to take ownership, to take responsibility, to be held accountable. You refuse to let us go. So my Father is going to judge you. You filthy, lazy, vain, subtle, brute beast. I gotta get my phone because for some odd strange reason it jumps and falls all the way behind my desk. That's all right. That's all right.
I'm going home this morning. He locked me up for 3 days.
Because he said he wanted to go home. Look at your ancestors.
He'll put me in the river down there. As the investigation in Alabama continued, the federal grand jury began issuing indictments. John Pace was charged with several counts of peonage.
Peonage,
If convicted,
they said is a Mexican word for basically causing people to work under bondage and harsh treatments with no means of hope, no means of justice, nothing. Just being a brute beast. And so our Father, who is our overseer, he saw these kind of things. And he'll call some of your leaders, he'll cause whomever he needs to lose sleep, to not have a right stable mind till they make some things done about it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just like a lot of you funny characters are having these funny little rapture dreams. Some of you having nightmares. You know what was absurd to me? That I had a dream last night of just it was like the Father was showing me, allowing me to see other torments they would do. I don't even know how they come up with these psychotic ideas. I tell you, I was completely disturbed. As the person I was watching being tormented was one of their own, I still was just like, what in the world? Disgusting.
He faced decades in prison. The next day, Pace's Justice of the Peace, James Kennedy, unexpectedly returned to court. James Kennedy came to be terrified that he would be convicted at trial once he had been indicted. He's the guy who fabricated all the documents. He's the one who declared all these people guilty, and so he feels a great sense of jeopardy. Yeah, if anybody from the Cosby family wanted a Negro, they would.
Didn't I just tell y'all that my father will torment you and come see about you till you come correct? You won't get no peace. You won't get to sleep. The thoughts and his voice will continually say, get it right. Do something. Do something. Do something. And lo and behold, this devil was forced by my father. So it wasn't because he was upright. It's because my father made him. Let's listen to his confession.
Send somebody before me and have an affidavit made. The Negro would be fined and made to sign a contract and sent out to the farm. This was never reported to the judge. Kennedy confirmed that at least 80 men and women had fallen victim to the conspiracy. Many other cases were suspected. As the grand jury continued to issue indictments, they asked
Grand
Judge
Rising,
Jones to
brother.
explain the federal law against peonage.
What we were doing was we were reading in Proverbs 13. I was having a little read with myself before I decided to come on here. Got to a point, I said, oh, Father, there's so much beauty in here. I would love to share with the family because, after all, when I got to verse 9, the light of the righteous rejoiceth. The anointing of the righteous rejoices, right? But the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. And it reminded me of Matthew 25 about these empty vessels out here with their empty, vain dreams of raptures and such. And so then I got to some other things like verse 11, where it says, wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished. And I just couldn't help for the life of me to remember how vain these Americans and these other nations have been established and didn't do no work. And so I was eager to get on down there to Psalms 94. You know, that old-fashioned Psalms 94. And read how I just had to read it, right? And it says, the one part, he know those who vain. Verse 11 in Psalms 94 put me in the mind of verse 11, Proverbs 13. How it says in Psalms 94:11, a higher knoweth the thoughts of man that are very vanity. So he knows the thoughts, which means he knew and seen their wicked ideas and how they did these things through vanity, established their own wicked laws for mischief, made our ancestors work. Because this documentary I'm showing y'all a clip of was something my family and I watched last night to educate the children because we are homeschooled. And so I also see verse 9 says, he that planteth the ear, shall he not hear? And he that made the eye, shall he not see? And I also said that, because last night I had a dream that most I was just like taking me with him and letting me see other levels of how I'm talking about radical ideas of their torment. And I just was like, Father, this is disgusting. Mind you, it was one of their own they were doing this to. He's like, daughter, the level of their wickedness You cannot fathom what my eyes had to behold. This is what his eyes had to behold. And I said, for you wicked ones, my Father has a way with y'all that he will he will get his hand in you. He will torment you. He will overwhelm them till they come correct. And lo and behold, this one who was signing off, people would be out free or just minding their business, and they would be arrested on some lies, mischief, vanity, deceitful charges, just so somebody can have a free slave, a free worker. Because after all, their bodies, first of all, they ain't from the soil. They're not good. They're not upright. So they can't think of upright ideas and inventions. What they come up with is destruction and mischief and devices of evil. And lo and behold, the next clip happened to be the man had to confess how he signed over it about 80 men and women. What about the children? What about these children who was left? I guess they probably was snatching them up and raping them and probably doing stuff to those children. And they think, in the words of Philip Blair from the Torch of Christ Ministries, they think we're supposed to just forgive them and show compassion and mercy to them. Please do not insult my sufferings.
Comes back with a ruling which asserts that in essentially every case in which a landowner is holding a laborer to pay back a debt, that unless there has been a conviction of that person in an open court in a sanctioned way by the government, it's peonage. It's debt slavery.
Debt slavery.
They are guilty of a conspiracy to deprive that person of the free exercise or enjoyment of a right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution of the United States.
Alabama.
And the ruling from Judge Jones unleashes this firestorm of fear and panic, not just in Alabama, but all across the South. 40 years after the Civil War, the United States had emerged as a global economic leader, due in part to Southern industry.
Wait a minute. They became a leader in the midst of having the richest people of the Most High, the Most High's people in possession. Why do you think they were a leader? Because the inventors, the creators, children, little creators, kings and queens and little princesses and princes were in their possessions. So was it really their inventions? Was it really their ideas? What would they have been when they were in the clefts of the rocks? Where were their inventions then? Where were their ideas then? They want you to think they took us out of the daggone jungles, butt naked, all this and the third. If we was really uncivil, why would you want us to work for you? If you're all the better, what would you need us for? What sense do y'all make? Did y'all make? Could you make? Will you ever make? It's time to stop lying. Take ownership and responsibility. You immoral people. Are you a people anyhow? Father said you're not a people.
Employers throughout the South
I'm going to give me some water.
To coerce labor. The judge's ruling might apply not just to convicts or those trapped by corruption, but also hundreds of thousands of black families tied to white landowners through tenant farming and sharecropping. If they lose access to that army of laborers, or they're compelled to deal with them on equitable terms as free citizens, then the entire Southern economy is disrupted. Along with it, the entire U.S. economy is disrupted as well. What had begun as a principled investigation that was probably going to go nowhere was turning into a potential political catastrophe for the Roosevelt administration.
Mr. President, I have a brother about 14 years old. A man hired him from me and I heard of him no more.
Among Black Southerners, reports that peonage was being prosecuted sparked a very different outcry. A flood of letters, many of them addressed to the president. At the National Archives today, there's more than 30,000 pages of this kind of material that document the arrest, the subjugation, the punishment, the mistreatment, the profit that was made off of the forced labor of armies and armies of people.
He has done nothing wrong for them to keep him in chains. So I was writing to you to help me get my poor brother. Please let me hear from you at once. Gary Kinsey.
14 years old.
Bernard William Kinsey.
14 years old. Kept against his will. Didn't do nothing wrong. Sound familiar, family? Why, yes, it does. Something like cops planting drugs in the backseat of men who are college ready or whatever, trying to go somewhere. Let me tell y'all something. For you little funny, conservative, wicked, proud, boisterous devils out here who want to be like Black people, just if you just get out together for your mindsets, you are standing on ground that is crumbling beneath you. You have no idea just how wicked your forefathers and them have laid the foundation of you unsure. Allow me to help you understand and break it down for you. You see, there are some individuals who came out of good homes, which you would say basically a little more well off than some of the rest of us, and tried to make it through just for the name of Black, just so they can say they did something. Just to show y'all that everybody ain't the same, as y'all made us and created and laid the foundation for us to be. After all, how lazy could we be when we built everything you daggone got and used? It's like when the schools would have a inquiry of somebody Black, a good family, their family line, the Masons over that college who funded it by slave money would say, "Oh, we got one that got away, y'all. Call that local cops and have them arrest him before he can actually start." They might even be wicked enough to allow the monies to go through, then lock him up. Or how many times have you seen Grand Rising, my beloved sister, in the name of a higher? That's my. Come on, Sal. Another one, Father. We got another one. That's right. All praise to the Most High. I will have my son blow the shofar for you when he gets up. All praise to the Most High. They'll have the officers be like, "Oh, we got another one. Let's lock him up." Or how many of y'all have heard about those on the campus school grounds, in the study halls, or whatever the case may be, walking to school, to and fro, minding their business, and security, college security, or cops are arresting them or questioning them? Do they do that to Africans? Do they do that to Chinese? Do they do that to them Hamites and foreigners and Ethiopians? No, they don't do that to them. So we're not going to use this Black card no more. What we're going to talk about is Jacob, who you have deceitfully have renamed us by 3 deities. What we're going to throw that to the side. Since there's no J in your Hebrew, I must go ahead and call us Jacob. Soon to be Jeshurun, aka upright. Because it's the word that cleanses our way. It's the word of our Father that shows us also who the heck y'all are. And it's the word of our Father that gives us hope. Outside of anything that y'all can do, it's the word of our Father that opens up doors that y'all cannot shut with your funny looking ugly selves. Yes, I said it. I'm talking about from the inside out, you're ugly. See, people like you, Philip Blair, you ought to be grateful the Father made me a woman. Because if I was a man, don't take this as a threat. I would have came see about you. I would have came seeing about you. Your little nasty little remarks, your little settlement. You are what the face of a lot of you white evangelicals are the drive. You are the heartbeat drive for today. Not just you, a lot of the rest of them. But I'm on you right now. You a torch. You on fire for Christ, huh? You think you got it all in the wraps? You think you got it all in control? Want to tell us to not see race? Meanwhile, you title these videos with black, and you mock and you scoff and you ridicule, you shake hands with the little Mormons from London and England who are smoking a cigarette. And you go to the synagogue of Satan, who is tied by 3 deities. And I love you. I love you. You and every other Christian like you will be destroyed. You will see my Father's wrath. You will taste and drink from that cup. That cup that you want to say a torch of fire, you're going to drink from it. Matter of fact, we're going to pour it up double for you. He said, give unto them double. How about you put your mouth on these situations? How about you come on over here to when our people were being worked and forced to do things against their will under peonage? Labor where it was under harsh conditions. How about you jump in our day for one moment? How about you put our shoes on for one day and tell me about some daggone forgiveness and some daggone mercy and some compassion? You mean to tell me your white Jesus ain't teach you how wrong y'all are as a people? You mean to tell me your white Jesus couldn't show you how filthy you are? Where did y'all get so? Why are y'all so docile and dolly? Why jolly and giddy and happy all the time? What the hell is so funny? The very people that established and worked their backs off in this place, you overlooked, and you still overlooking us. But you're gonna pay for that. And I assure you, I don't care how many of y'all been assigned with your little funny little rapture dreams, you ain't going nowhere. And you will be in that lake with the snake. You will be. Idolaters. Let me finish reading Proverbs 13. I'm fed up. You want to say I'm angry? You want to call this bitter? No, sweetie. This is the living waters that come out of here. So living waters and bitter waters can't coexist. It's called righteous indignation. That's what it's called. And guess where it comes from? It comes from my Father. You overlooked the prophets just like you overlooked us, and this is exactly why you're lost. This is exactly why you're jolly and you're moving this false little stupid narrative around when this gospel's already coming forth. You ought to be shutting your mouth like the rest of these buildings, church has been shut down due to COVID-19. Who that lady? Get back to Proverbs 13. The light of the righteous rejoiceth, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. Here we're gonna blow your little lights out. Put your little Christmas lights. Your little Thanksgiving little candle lit down. Your little birthday. Your little stupid little Easter egg hunts. Putting it out. We shutting it down. Yeah. It's a wrap. Again, I read verse 11 of Proverbs 13. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase. What labor? Any labor. In other words, if you ain't doing work with the right heart and things with the good intentions and from the muscle, how do you feel about yourself? How do you go to sleep at night? Even those that steal and rob and take from others of our own. What's wrong with y'all? Selling drugs. You know what gets me about our brothers that do that nonsense? You don't have a marking when you're going to stop. You're not sufficing. All you see is your Balenciagas and your gold chains and your popping champagnes and your good old fancy nights, and you don't see the little children that's crying homeless without somebody to feed them. You don't see the other ones who's locked up in jail, who've been shot because of some battles. You don't see these things. All the while you celebrate your little money. The white man sitting back laughing like, yeah, these stupid niggers, I got them now. Aren't you tired of being your own destruction? I can't for the life of me understand coons and the help. I cannot understand y'all or even grasp to look upon y'all who do your own people wrong. And you men who get with these white girls, and you our sisters who get with these white men. I don't get it. What are you? Oh, Father. Is it greener over there? How the flowers smell? How's that non-nigger pie taste? Because you're going to find your face in when Yasha come by and destroy you with your face in that pie. Ooh, this girl's angry. Ooh, this girl's mad. Oh my goodness, what got it into her? After you explain to me, you heathens, what got in y'all to do such things that you done to my people, then maybe I could have some reasonings for you. 12 of Proverbs 13. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed. Y'all despise our Father's word. No, God is real. And Jesus like, no. Shut your mouth. You despise his word. Who is his word? His true son. You despise what was written of his word, who his word was, and the image of his word. You have violated that in 3 ways. You have formed your own gospel. You have formed your own image, and you have hate and spoke against his word in every way, shape, and form. Just sit back and look around. How many people really think white Jesus, white Jesus, white Zeus has a card to play to save them? Anything that's false is of the devil, aka Baal. That's what it's of. So all of y'all seeing Baal in your dreams, that's your daddy. Yep, that's your daddy. And you're going with your daddy. For he was a murderer from the beginning. And who murdered since they got on the soil? Your daddy, y'all. That's who. Still murdering. How about those videos and postcards you used to send around at Christmas time? burning our people to the stake and gathered around it like it was a campfire. Look at your recreation. Look how you guys look what you do for sport. I can't even stand the stench of flesh of somebody. I wouldn't be able to stand near that. Yet, not just the men, but your crazy looking deranged women and your little demon children in the picture smiling while someone is being burnt and tormented. You all are celebrating. You know what our Father told us? Only with that eye shall you behold and see the reward of wicked. We're not going to need to stand around and smell you burning. We don't want that funky stench. You guys stink. When you come from outside in the house, you stink. You reek. Like your bodies give off this aroma, like something is wrong with you. The more and more I learn my Father, the more and more I begin to abhor you all. The more and more I understand why he hates you. It makes all the sense. Verse 14, my favorite. I'm going to start actually plastering this all on you funny looking Christians videos. I'm going to put this verse all on there among some other verses as well. And this verse is Proverbs 13, verse 14. It says, the Torah law of the wise is a fountain of light to depart from the snares of death. So, no, you can't repent to escape death. No, you cannot say, I'm saved. You must come unto the fountain of life, which is the Torah law. He said, he that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. Precept for that would be also John 4:10. Let's get that. John 4:10. No, I didn't have to go to divinity school. No, I didn't need no theologian. No, I was filled with my Father's Spirit from the foundation of the world. And when he sent me forth, he sent me for this. Such a days as this. For times as these. So keep trying to watch where the sinews are. You're going to actually be catching rebukes. John 4:10. John. And this is actually my first study that Abba opened and really dealt with me. There's so much weight here. This is like, when I read that woman, it was actually like me and Yasha. I felt the experience there. He didn't have to tell me everything I ever did do. But I know, I just can't explain the revelation he gave me. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. There was actually the seed that he sowed into me to allow me to know where my ministry was going to go. And why I have such a strong passion for not just this, for Judah, but for the other tribes as well. For my heart is looking for the day of the mending of the tribes. That's when I would greatly rejoice. John 4:10. Yasha answered and said unto her, if thou knowest the gift of Ahiah, if you know the gift of Ahiah, what is the gift? Repentance is a gift. If you know repentance, because some people don't know it. Philip Blair, aka Torture Mice Christ Ministries, and the rest of you YouTube funny looking characters uploading your videos upon the deception of Christianity. If you knew the gift of Ahiah, and who it is that saith to thee, give me to drink, thou wouldst have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. If you would have known the people that you were afflicting, if you would have known what was within them and who they were, you would have been asking us for repentance. How you going to jump over his people and jump to the king? Do you not understand chain of command? Oh, how about I just go on down to the White House and just run up in the office of the president. Could I just do that? No, actually, I could if I wanted to. My father sent me, I would. However, is that the statues? So whether John Brown to you guys think in your radical little brains that you can jump over his people and get to the king. He told your leader that my kingdom is not of this kingdom. In other words, he is a king of a kingdom. And in our kingdom, there is statutes, laws, and judgments. Chain of command. You ain't getting to the king without coming to us. You don't like it? You wouldn't be dared humbled by or in subjection to a little Negro woman like myself? Well, that's just too bad now, isn't it? Back to Proverbs 13. Oh, did I finish reading Father? No. Yeah, you would ask of him, and he would have given thee living water. The woman said unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Yeah, he a deep well for sure. From whence thou then hast thou that living water? Where this living water that you got? What you talking about? Art thou greater than our father Jacob? Oh, you better believe he is. In other words, Jacob dug this well, so you must be gonna have some, like, what you gonna do? Like, what you gonna uproot the well and go down that deep or something? Which gave us the well and drank thereof himself, and his children and his cattle. So you trying to speak about some other water, but even Jacob, are you greater than Jacob that you don't have to drink from this water either? He said if you knew the gift of Ahia, who it was that spoke to you, you would have been asking him of living water. You would ask him of water, and he would have given you living water. And Yasha answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. No, baby, I ain't talking about no earthbound liquid. What I'm talking about is this living word that will cleanse you. You better come on. You better hop out your seat real quick and do a backflip. Come on. All night. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him, shall be in him, shall be in him, shall be in her, shall be in them, shall be in you little children. A well of water springing up into everlasting life. Springing up into everlasting life. If you're empty, you ain't springing up the John Brown nowhere. Proverbs 13. Proverbs 13, 14. The Torah law of the wise is a fountain of life. Oh, what wise we talking about? There were 10 virgins, 5 wise, 5 foolish. What made those ones wise? Oh, they weren't empty. For they had that living water within them. Gushing like a fire extinguisher on a summer day in Philly with the daggone lid off. Filling up the streets. Children laughing and playing. Music going. Cookouts. Get the scene. Good understanding, verse 15, giveth favor, but the way of a transgressor is hard. Like their heads keeps bumping against the daggone rocks. Or back and forth rocking against the wailing wall like some retards ridden with demons. 16. Every prudent man dealeth with knowledge, but a fool layeth open his folly. In other words, they just show themselves. They just can't help it. They are examples of foolishness. Layeth open the folly. Didn't you see how a mock, laughing, scoff, mocking, ridicule you were America when Trump got in there on his way, mocking one guy, grabbing private areas of women and just. But Cosby's in jail though. Cosby's in jail, but you got a president grabbing on women's. Biden's no better. Hillary's no better. None of them have a leg to stand on. They got tails. They got tails. You know when they flip the coins, they head of tails. They got tails. Slithering tails. Verse 17. A wicked messenger falleth into mischief, but a faithful ambassador is health. Now, as I've seen some of the videos on Torture Christ Ministries while he's supposed to be, getting unclean spirits out of demonic possessions, his hands are on the people and his face is in the looks like he's doing the most. We only see you in the act of things, but we never see the people become actually whole. We never hear you tell them, go and sin no more. So you're falling into mischief, and the things that you're touching, you're actually transferring onto yourself, and you're taking to somebody else, and you're just a messenger of demonic possessions. You possess the demonic gospel, you possess your radical ideas, and you're just a transference of unclean spirits, dumb spirits, mute, lame, and all the other such. We're going to need for you to sit down somewhere and wait and prepare yourself for slaughter. Get yourself a head start. Stop. Sit down. Because this gospel is going forward. And that gospel is finished. You're fired. You and the rest of you evangelicals. You and the rest of you little Christian people that want to come on YouTube now. Come on over here to the Badlands. And let us show you how to rightly divide this word of truth. Because aren't you tired of having blood on your hands? Aren't you tired of your bloody boots? You look a bloody mess right now, and blood is considered unclean. So how about you sit down somewhere? Don't sit down somewhere. Verse 18. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction, but he that regardeth reproof shall be honored. What instructions did y'all refuse? To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equality. Proverbs 1. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, and knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall obtain unto wise counsels. Where shall we find wise counsels? In the word of the Most High. Not you walking around the world or going on Sunday sermons or on videos or on your streams or your Zooms or whatever your means of your spreading of your false gospel and reading like probably one verse and an NIV, which is watered down, and giving your own orchestra performance and animation of nonsense that ain't able to convert nobody, which is itchy ear tickling them, rocking them back to sleep. They come in to add blindness unto blindness, deafness unto deafness, death unto death. Just be quite honest with yourselves. You can't argue with the fact, but if you do, it's your own heart. You can't argue with the fact that we came over here and served y'all, right? We came here on ships, right? Okay. That's true. That's history, right? Okay. But it's mentioned in the scriptures that we would come over here on ships. His children would come here. Okay, so you ain't going to deny the fact that we were all slaves, but you're going to deny who we was, though? Okay. I get it. I see. You see how dizzy y'all are? Not only that, but if we were brought here on ships because of our disobedience for breaking the commandments, don't get it twisted. Everybody goes, God made us all. Well, guess what? Ahaya, the creator, you're absolutely right, he did. And guess what else he made? He established also a covenant. And he also said to Abraham he would be a father of many nations. So that means you other nations don't have any excuses on why you're not keeping these commandments. However, the promise actually comes out of Isaac. So if you think that you can get around the promise, child, which happens to go from Isaac to Jacob, which from Jacob to the 12 tribes that y'all oppress, you're what he calls in his word a thief and a robber, trying to climb another way. But he's a good shepherd. In other words, a good shepherd knows how to make sure he guards the sheep from such wolves who think they're going to come in some other way and attack the sheep. So, though y'all been attacking, he's been watching, and he's got your numbers. And don't try to jump on the bandwagon now, and because he knows that you're only trying to run and hide face from the wrath. He knows those who love his word and who those are just looking for a scapegoat. Watching us, trying to disguise, such like the Donna Nicholas. Yeah, Donna, I ain't forget about you. I saw you over there on Jediah Malek's channel. You probably still watch me. Just like you was watching that wicked Jewish guy. He said you don't watch none of them. Called him brother. Because let me tell you something. If you really came unto our Father with the right spirit, it's a spiritual thing here. Then the Spirit of the Most High would have told you something was off with his, in that very video of this man talking about the Torah Institute. Let me get this devil. The Torah Institute. Looking, it's the Gordon Fisher man, what I call him. Y'all ain't institute no Torahs, okay? Look at this devil. His question is Jesus the Antichrist? The real Messiah will come in his real name. Look at this devil. Tell me why, if you woke up to see we the real people, and you must come unto us, why would you be learning from this one? Why would you be listening to this one? Because they don't really value us. They don't really take us serious. They watch us to see what they can find and to divert and disprove us. That's what a lot of you Gentiles heathens is watching us for. You trying to see, is this true? But then you're tormented by your scoffing. Because the more you watch, you're like, oh my goodness, it is true. I don't want to watch. But I can't help it. I don't want to watch. Hold on, they so pale you can hardly see them.
Well, this is your party. I got my granddaughter's picnic party. It's really little too. I love this thing. It's only got 5 strings because one of them got busted. I think she tightened it too much. Are you putting it to your second child? No, I just like that.
What does that Usha want? Welcome to Torah Institute. Okay, I ain't asked what he wants. If you go to TorahInstitute2.com, let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all who he believes the real people are. Now, mind you, she been watching for some time, right? Now, I ain't just coming on her. I'm talking about people who woke up to who you are. And for some odd strange reason, you thought to watch these Gentiles or these heathens teach you something. I'm not picking on you, but I'm just like, seriously? Like, are you tired? Aren't you tired of being taught by NASA? Ain't you tired of being a daggone help? Haven't you learned? And no, Donna Nicholas is not one of us. She is a Gentile. But it's one law for the dorms and one said, yeah, but you're still a stranger. He has on his website who he deems the real people to be. And it wasn't us. So why would I learn anything from this guy? There you go. There goes your receipts. There goes your tea. Look at these devils. Do they look like their name would be? Let's just go to Chronicles real quick. Let's just, we don't gotta talk about color. Let's just keep it a buck. Like, let's just stop playing these little stupid games. Seriously. Do these people look like their name would be like Abinadab and Hadassah and names with the like names with some rhythm and names with some soul, names with some Laries? Do they look like they would be them people? Do they even look physically like people of the Bible? Do they even physically look like people from the book? No. Look what they're teaching their children. Look at that language. Why are Most High's people teaching their children the same nonsense? Talking about, that's ours. They took it from, shut up. They made that up. Talking about, the Torah Institute was funded in 1952 by a group of Holocaust survivors. Holocaust survivors looking to rebuild their lives and families. Today, over 700 students are currently reaping the fruits of our founders' commitment to rebuild Torah in America. Your legacy, our children's future. A legacy of Jewish education will make an everlasting impact on our children, grandchildren, and community. To learn more about how to create a legacy gift with the maximum tax benefit, please contact Rabbi Daniel Shklernick. I'm going to contact you, all right? I'm going to rebuke you. That's what I'm going to contact you for. This is what I do. This is for fun. This is a sport. Don't mess with them people. No, I'm gonna mess with them peoples. So you ready to come clean? What are you talking about? You ready to confess? You tired of living a lie? Tell them children the truth and stop lying to them children. Prepare them children for slaughter, for the iniquities of your fathers. Stop this nonsense. Jewish fables, correct. Stop this nonsense. Come from around that tree. Come from underneath that rock, you snake. Tell your little children that they're going to synagogue of Satan. Tell your children that. Help tutor a child? Indeed, I would. Get that number. He said, who was standing for me against the workers of iniquity? Who was standing for me against the face workers of iniquity? Yeah, shine, strengthen, home, inspire, nurture, and power. Shine provides special education and other support services to children with learning differences and their families. We want every child to flourish and therefore provide over 100,000 in private tutoring. Some slides, and this is what this is where your tax dollars are going, Americans. That's another reason why I wouldn't want to be working in this place, because if you work, they automatically take the tax. They're acknowledging them as a nation as if they're all Levites. The tithe actually went to the Levites and to the fatherless and the widow. Explain to me why my people are still down. Explain to me what the John Brown is America doing, giving all their wealth and proceeds over to the synagogue of Satan. And everybody that's working. Make sure when you take your money out that you denounce and pray against it. Say, Father, I'm in this kingdom. You know I'm not of this kingdom, Father. I am not in agreement with that. These things must be said. And then say, Father, I want to come out of this system like you told me in Revelations 18. I don't want to rely on this no more. I want to be redeem me from blood guiltiness, Father. Get my hands out this pot. Back to Proverbs 13. Verse 20. Nah, I didn't do verse 18 yet. Oh, no, I did. Verse 19. The desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, but it is an abomination to fools to depart from evil. It's an abomination. In other words, it's hard for them to depart from evil. They just can't help it. Even if they're not doing the act, their thoughts are in the evil. If evil is presented to them, they find humor out of it. They find entertainment out of it. The desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, but is an abomination to fools to depart from evil. What is the desires? The desire of the Most High, which is the Most High's will accomplished, is sweet to the soul. Because the soul knows, oh, well done. Oh, wow, I don't have to see his wrath. Verse 20. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. It don't matter how many the fools is. And wise are always far and few in between. You always see a bunch of children in the mall running around acting the fool. And you know, they always try to paint like our children, like cops always going to be riding around us. But they don't never be worrying about the little gothic little devil kids. Probably just got done skinning a cat somewhere. Evil pursueth sinners. Evil pursueth sinners. Sinners are those who continually transgress the laws. For sin is a transgression of the law. So who's going to pursue you? Who's coming to save you? You Christians who transgress my father's laws? Evil. All you have to look forward to is evil. The only way you're going to seek repentance is if you take heed to what his children are saying and amend your ways. And get out of that foolishness. Not for the sake of saving yourself. He that tries to save his soul will lose it. Save his life will lose it. But he that loseth his life for the Most High's sake, you shall gain it. Yeah. They might call you skinny. They might call you dumb. They might insult you. They might spit in your face. They might pick on you, call you whatever names they want to call you. Radical, extreme, doing the most, whatever. You're dumb. Weird. But guess what? Tell them, my life is not my own. To him I belong. And I give myself away. That's right. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children. What's the inheritance he's really talking about? What did all of our forefathers say to each one of them when they left? They spoke to him about the Most High's word. Children, keep the commandments. Is if you don't, he gonna visit the iniquity. They wasn't worried about just making sure you got camels and yeah, they did that because long as they kept the commandments, that was automatically given. Keep the commandments and all these things will be added unto you. Keep his word and you're going to be rich. Keep my Sabbaths and I will give you the inheritance of Jacob. Folk don't really believe this. No, they don't believe it. They really think they got to go work for Massa. They really think they got to go out here and esteem the vote. Or they think they got to go out here and, still kill and destroy. It could be a daggone earthquake in the building. They still gonna sit down and make sure they clock in a few more hours. All the things around you is crumbling down and they still trying to make America great. How you gonna make something great that's falling? How? How do you sound? A righteous man, because ain't nobody good but the Father. Leaveth an inheritance to their children, his children. And the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Did you get that? So, if you leave an inheritance, that means you led a life that was righteous. You led your children the way they should go. It means they're going to grow up and they're not going to depart from it. They're going to grow up, their next year. That's inheritance. We're not esteeming nothing that's earthly. No, we're not talking about that. Hence, our king, when he came here, he was looked at as though he was common. They couldn't even tell where he was. Judas had to betray him with a kiss. He wasn't decked out. He wasn't walking around here like you Kenneth Copeland's and Bishop T.D. Jakes and you Creflo Dollars. He didn't look like that. And he basically was so busy in the work and fasting and prayer. I'm sure he wasn't fat either. Much food is in the tillage of the poor, but that is destroyed for want of judgment. But there is the destroyed for want of judgment. They always, lasciviousness, they're always stuffing their face with everything other than the bread of life. Every single holiday is surrounded by food. Abominable food at that. See how fun your little Thanksgiving goes this year. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chastiseth him betimes. Now, what is the scripture? We're going to get the precepts for this, because David said, thy rod and thy staff comfort me. It's in Micah. It said, feed my people thy rod. Hold on. Or is it Malachi? I think it might be Micah. another little slave mentality taught us. No one learns from being beat. Micah 7:14. This word, my father didn't have to come down here and beat my back in. But I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. When I was in wickedness, I had whiplashes on my back. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was radiation. I didn't know what it was. Father was like, oh, you don't want to do the work? He did me. I did get some lashes. However, do you see a shepherd beating a little lamb when it runs off? No, you don't see that. Micah 7:14. I am learning. His word has taught me how to be a mom. It's helping me. First of all, she's teaching me how to be a better wife. I'm trying to learn how to be a better sister and brother to my brothers and sisters. You know, how to handle things, how to tame or temper, as he told me. Temper the fire he's given me. Okay. Micah 7:14. Feed thy people with thy rod, the flock of thine inheritance. Hold on, I need to get that. Micah's right before Matthew. Where's that? Malachi. That was Malachi. Micah 7:14. Always remember this, family. This with precept of Psalms 23. Thy rod and thy staff that comfort me. When you tell me to say, spare the rod, spoil the child. All praise to the Father. And guess what? A lot of these things were passed down to me, and so I passed them on. And now those seeds are beginning to sprout. Don't you get excited when you plant something, you see just a little green thing? Rejoice in the small beginnings. You know what I'm saying? Rejoice in the process that people make when they're trying to attempt to change. Don't worry about wanting to see the outcome. Rejoice in the change. Rejoice with them and rejoice unto them to help them have encouragement. Like Yasha said to Peter, Peter, thou art our rock. And upon this, around this rock, I shall build my church, my body, and the gates of hell will not prevail. Peter wasn't solid. He denied him 3 times. So he said, you're going to be solid, Peter. Like when I was smoking that blunt, he said, you're going to get the victory. The seeds of righteousness are sown in righteousness. When you in your pit, that's when he speaks the most. That's what I told my daughter. When stuff is being overwhelmed, your brothers are starting to annoy you, that's when you go in prayer. And I'm talking about you cry out. He speaks more in that time than he speaks when you just want to, when things is all good and dandy. Because he's actually allowing to see, are you going to rely on me or are you going to act on your own? Micah 7:14. Feed thy people with thy rod, the flock of thine heritage, which dwell solitarily in the woods. So that tells you who your neighbors are too. So, well, that's our neighbor. No. We were never supposed to be around y'all. Because when we came in y'all land, we were for overtaking y'all. So y'all are not our neighbors. Okay? Feed thy people with thy rod, the flock of thine heritage, which dwell solitarily in the wood, in the midst of Carmel. Let them feed in Bashan and Gilead in those days of old. Those are the places like where the Most High's, I think even Gilead was like, Gilead, not right quite sure, but it's like, our stomping ground. So in other words, feed thy people with the rod. How do we feed the people? With the word. David said, thy rod and thy staff comfort me. So when there are people are dealing with discomforting things, give them the comfort of the word. It may not always be comfortable. She better not be smoking no cigarette on my stove. Feed the people with the rod, as we're doing. We edify each other with the word of the scriptures. When there's error, we use the scripture on it. When a child is being obscene, you use the scriptures. I'm telling you. Trust me. You don't want to be a person to strike. Always remember, he's a good shepherd. Shepherd doesn't beat the sheep when he runs off. He brings them unto him and go out his way for that little sheep. All right, back to Proverbs 13. Got to be gentle with our children. That's why I said, Father, for all the times I went away from your word, I want to every day, every second of the day, do the best I can to honor them. Even when I'm watching my videos, I look at ways that I could have spoke to them a little better. I could have expressed this a little better. I'm watching myself for critiquing of myself. I judge myself, lest I be judged. We can't stop examining ourselves. No matter how much wisdom and knowledge he gives us, how many revelations and visions he shows us, we must always remember to examine ourselves. Keep our minds, Father. That's why I say, bridle today, Father. Let my thoughts be not in contrary to you. Let my mouth be bridled with the law of kindness. Help me not be in offenses at those who offend me, but help me be in your spirit so that I can fight through the offenses. Because it's real out here. All right. Proverbs 13, verse 25. The righteous eateth to the satisfying of his soul, but the belly of the wicked shall want. They're never satisfied. Lust never is satisfied. So what do we eat? Before we go to I wake up in the rise and seek first the kingdom. What is the word for the day, Father? What is the word for us and his people? Boom, let's crack this book open. Let's be edified. We don't wake up to fulfill our lusts. Like, it's not what we bow. That's what he said the Gentiles seek after. That's what the heathens do. They all about breaking. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Huh? No, these scriptures is the most important meal of the day while you're talking. That's why you look funny now. No, ye not that man shall not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. So tell me how the world is at the most important meal today. Oh, I get it. If I don't eat breakfast, I'm going to be real hungry by lunch or I'm going to be starving by dinner. No, the body goes into fasting. And by fasting, the body cleanses itself. What is more important? The body cleansing itself or the body becoming fat with waste? I'm not trying to say you're going to be got to be lean, retarded. Some people, I really feel they need to seek wisdom and fasting. They really need to do this. Some people are carrying a lot of junk with themselves. And a lot of reasons why we act certain ways is because of what we put in our mouths. After all, these sick synagogue of Satan people are putting human DNA in a lot of stuff. You can't even drink a daggone Gatorade. I never really cared for this so much anyhow. With those bright colors. Like, where do you get them colors from? Them oranges and them neons. Where the heck does that come from? How you liquefied that? I'm going to play a song real quick. Give my mouth a break. Oh, and I found the crystal things I was telling you about. Like, the different, like, meanings for them and stuff. Okay, this was on SD.com. Just different stones and stuff like this. And I remember one Sabbath lesson. My children and I were doing a lesson on the rock. And I had them go outside because I gathered rocks. Me and my husband one day, we got some rocks from off the side of the road. We weren't stealing. They were just rocks on the side of the road. And I had rocks around my flower beds, front and the back. So I told the children, go out and pick a rock of your own liking. And we're going to paint the rocks as mommy's doing the lesson for the Sabbath about the rock of our salvation. Meaning, while we're painting these rocks, I want you to think about your shot. Well, this rock was a rock that Zion first got. Zion got it, but then he rejected it because it was like, it was white, but it had burgundy, like crack, like a burgundy brick, like trace going through the rock, the white rock, as though it was like blood going through it. So he was like, I don't want that. Baby girl was like, Mom, this is the rock that Zion didn't want. I said, bring me that rock. We were already getting, can y'all hear can you see where we're going right now? The rock that was disallowed by man, rejected by man, but has become the chief cornerstone. Let's get there, First Peter's. Let's get there. Get a good look at this rock. You can see right here, that's the brown. So it was like the blood going all through, like through the rock, right? It was a white rock when we can perceive like it was more like an ivory color. So baby girl, shouts out to Ephraim. I'm not trying to be funny, but remember, Joseph was also rejected. Zion, we as a nation, we rejected the word how many times? So baby girl brought it back and painted it. No shade to Zion. No shade to Zion. I love them all in their unique ways. I love them so very much. But there's a lesson in this. And she painted it. And this color was the best I could, explain to you. It was like if I was to put some little powdered crystals on it, it would have been the rock I saw, the bottom line. So let me just read to y'all what the meaning of this one rock is. We're going to still get 1 Peter 2, okay? Put that down. Just want you to look at this rock. All right? Hold on. I got an idea. There we go. All right? So there's a rock here that says, amethyst. Okay, I don't really care about the name, but it's stress relief, protection, disperses negative energies, that disperses from negative energies. All right. So I was a little overwhelmed and I saw that with a mixture of pink. All right. Which is the amethyst or the turbaline, healing, depression, anxiety, stress, and worries. So with these two ones together, I'm going to show you the stone. Okay. So there goes the pink. Okay. And then there goes the purple. Those two blended, you're getting stress relief, protection from negative energies, and healing, depression, anxiety, and stress worries. So bottom line, let's get this in the scriptures. 1 Peter 2. In order to be a precious stone, we must, verse 1, lay aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby or glow thereby. Okay? When I say glow, because you're going to see down here, you are a lively stone. So just keep that in mind. If so, ye have tasted that Ahia is gracious. Why? Because Yasha said he is the bread of life. His flesh is meat indeed, and he is living water. Okay, so you can eat those things. Remember, we don't live by bread alone. So when you taste his word, he is gracious. Understand, he's not altogether terrible. He's not angry always all the time. He's gracious. All right. To whom coming as unto a lively stone, a living stone. To whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of Ahia and precious. So Zion picked up the rock and see, there it goes. This is the original color of it. It was that color with like a brick color going through it. Baby girl saw he rejected it, picked it up and said, I don't want to paint it. She did hers and another one. Let's show you some other stones they did. Okay, let me show you the beautiful colors they put together. I feel that when I said think about the Most High, Ahia was giving them colors of stones and precious stones for their ideas of creativity, because he is the ultimate creator. So he put the gift inside of these children. Here's another one, you all. Now it looks dark, but I'm going to put my light on it so you can really see the colors that reflect off of this. First, this is like a dark rock, right? Hold on. Can you see the colors? We have green. Okay, let me try to go underneath. I'll put the big light on above me. Maybe that'll work. We have, this might have been Zebediah's or baby girls. I'm not quite sure. But we have like a blue, a green, a dark color, browns here. It's like a combination of the different stones. It's like a combination of these stones. Like that green, that dark color, you know, like 1, 2, and a 3. It's like those two. Now let's look at those ones. Okay, it says healing, imagination of healing. Okay. I see like some ruby, passion and love and strength. I see some garnet, manifestation of healing and self-worth. You know, so when children are able to create things within what's inside of them, the Father put in them, it gives them a self-feeling of work. When they say, look what I did, mommy, or look what I did, daddy. It's their self-esteem. That's the same with the Creator when he said, it is good. His esteem of self was, I produce good. So being his children, we want to be more creators of good rather than evil. So like I read in 1 Peter 2, let's read again. Verse 1. Okay. Look at those colors, y'all. There we go. Thank you, Father, for the clarity. Okay, this was an activity we did on the Sabbath, and I encourage you parents to do the same. Get some paints for your children. Get some rocks around the way. And tell them, I'm going to read to you children out of 1 Peter 2, let the Spirit of the Most High use you, and tell them, I want you to be creative. As you color your rocks, I want you to think about the Most High and let him take over. Laying aside all malice and all guile and all hypocrisies and envies and evil speakings. Those are bad words. Those are not good words. Okay. Those kind of things cannot produce beauty. It does not make us look beauty. If you were looking at a rock, if that was a rock, that would look like, you know, a rock made with some spikes coming out of it. Okay. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. So if you have never gone through that babe stage, which means acknowledging that I need to learn and grow thereby, I don't know it all, I need to press the restart. Maybe not once, maybe not twice, maybe 3 times, however it needs to be, and allow him his milk, which is the word, which is the commandments and the prophets and the psalms, the songs and wisdom to help me grow. Then I can become as a beautiful rock, a lively stone. If so, ye have tasted that Ahia is gracious, which means he's, as a mother is gracious to their child, their newborn, when they're drinking milk. If a baby's gonna cry, you ain't gonna be like, now shut that crying up. That's not gracious. That's evil. To whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed by men, but chosen of a high and precious stone. Ye also as lively stones are built up, a spiritual house, a holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable unto a higher by Yahshua. So that means your sacrifices may not be accepted by men. They may be overlooked by men. They may be disapproved by men. But it does not matter. To him, it is precious. Like he showed me the New Jerusalem on the top of the mountain. Around the base of the city was different, beautiful, glowing of stones. He said, we are to build up. He's the foundation, but we were around. I believe those stones were every single precious person on this earth who is doing what they're supposed to do. You are glowing before him in his kingdom. You are glowing. These vain people are so concerned about the grass having lines. They are out here cutting the grass in the rain. So vain. Rather than say, you know what, the grass is growing beautiful the way it is, I'll let it be there. They think it's beautiful if they have lines in the grass. I want to get Daniel 10:5 for the precept of 1 Peter 2:5. Daniel's 10:5. Let's get Daniel 10:5. And I'll share the song at the end. All praise all right to Daniel 10:5. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked and beheld a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with the fine gold of Uphaz. Uphaz. Let's see what Uphaz is. I guess it's a certain kind of material, maybe. Uphaz. With fine gold of Uphaz. Uphaz. Fine gold. That's not what I asked. I guess it's a material. All right. His body was like beryl. Now, remember we were talking about that the stone beryl, right? Let me see on this one. That is beautiful. Remember I told you guys his eyes look good whenever he's pleased with you. His eyes have a certain like color. It's like an ocean. It's really can I make that big? It's like these two in one. It's like these two in one in his eyes. Those two. And those two, I don't know the name of them. I don't really care. But the first one is courage, creativity, and clarity. The second one says healing, soothing, helps, and emotional times. And he showed my son these pictures to give us courage. He gave my son the creativity of courage for clarity. I would say, Zion, go in prayer and ask the Most High, give us a word. I'm thinking he would give me scripture. He began to start drawing. How clear can this be? Healing. It heals us to know when we have a word from our Father. Soothing. It's soothing. And helps in emotional time. It does help us to know. It does. Not only that, but he gave me yesterday for our family read and prayer, Jeremiah 40. And all I was reading was about Jeremiah being released from prison, and God was like, you can go where you want. I'm like, Father, what is this about? And he went and pressed his on, can you go in prayer? My little buddy, that's my baby, my son. And he came out with, mind you, the vision that the Most High gave him was something he was giving me as I was going to sleep yesterday. He brought it back to my remembrance. I'm like, oh my goodness. It was like stairs. And I was at the bottom of the stairs. My book bag is actually navy blue, but he had these, like my arms were the color of the pink stone. And when I was a little overwhelmed one night, I was going to sleep. I saw that stone. The stone's shape looked something like this, but the color was the pink and the purple. These are precious stones. I'm talking about, like, not to worship, but it's like people kill over diamonds. And the Most High is like, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Father's like, you guys don't understand how precious your souls are. And when you do what he requires of you, you are glowing. You are glowing. People brag and deck out, and see Solomon understood this. He didn't care about the vanity. He said, Father, I'm glowing unto you. When I obey, I'll make my gold ladder gold just so I can get to you, just so I can stand before the people and pray unto you. If our streets are gold, should we worship gold? How much more precious are your feet that will walk? How precious are the feet of those who bring good tidings? My soul is rejoicing because he doesn't have to show us these beautiful things, but he does. He's such a great father. He really is. So when you want to know who that stone was, Daniel 10:5. Read on. I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with the fine gold of Ephaz. His body was also like the beryl, and his face was like appearances of lightning. Glorious. It's like, you know, when you look at the sun, you close your eyes and you got that white in your eyes. It was like his face was like you put a light on a diamond. His face. So what Daniel saw was actually Yahshua in glorified form. John the Revelator saw Yahshua with the image. He said, write this in a book. I need my revealing of me to be recorded because they're going to produce a false image. So Daniel saw the glorified Yahshua on the throne. This is what these colors of the green was probably Zion saw. The green and blue together. You put those two together, it's like a barrel. So in his little mind, because I'm going to tell you, when I saw, sometimes it's hard to capture and put it in this realm. It's hard. But bless him. Most High has given him anointing to do so. So let's look up beryl again, okay? Remember the stone beryl? See, they probably don't have the name for it here. I'll just look up beryl. All right. Beryl stone. Color. Images. Okay. Here we go. This is a good one. See that? And if you remember the priest's ephod, they remember when Joshua told them to carry over stones, each one to represent each tribe. And the priest had the ephod, which each stone to represent each tribe. I believe Judah's is this color. They would translate it as emerald, but it's beryl. It's this color. So when he saw Yeshua in this form, it's really out there cutting the grass. It's that slow man. Father, like beryl, the gem mineral of emerald. See, aquamarine. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. So when he saw Yahshua in glory, he was the reigning, ruling one. He was showing him like this. This is the Judah. He's a ruler. He's the king of Judah. Okay. Just wanted to make that clear. So let's go back to 1 Peter 2. But before we do that, I want to use the restroom really quick. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna play the song while I use the restroom. Okay. No, I'm gonna be quick. I really like this song. So, before it was taken, it's by Jeremiah Gaye. Its song is called "Coming Back." All right. I'll put my bookmark here. I don't own the rights to this music for no copyright purposes, for educational purposes. Let my people go out on islands. If you dare, we will show you. We will show you better. We will show you better. That's right. Wait. Jacob. No, Bob Marley's not coming back. Come and get this water. That's right, living water. Come and get the mercy. Jacob, wake up. Jacob. That's right. Listen to that line. Waging war. That's right. Waging war on Zion. Wait for your Shia. Come on. He's coming back. Yeah, I'm gonna rejoice when I see you. That's right. King of creation. It's coming back. I tried my best, y'all. I had to blow some for my sister who had her neck, who is sealed according to higher. That is not a nothing to be taken light. Ooh, my ashes from my incense. But anywho, that's something to take for light. Huh? Oh, I would love that you could take Lady with you, but her can't go to the doctor. Her can't go. It's your lady. So we're gonna get back to 1 Peter's 2. We are coming back. We are coming back. American soldiers waging war with Zion. Come on. American soldiers waging war on Zion. We are coming back. Hey. I pulled up at the hospital to get my husband. Y'all had this joint blasted. About 3 of them little Edomite nurses came out. I know they was feeling some kind of way. You can tell how I dress and how I walk. I am not trying to be cocky at myself, but I've always walked with, like you come into America movie, when they was throwing the flowers out. Walked in the joint like, and it's not no air. It's not no, but when you know who you are, you know who you are. And I asked the little woman's, where is for release for the people to come out? She's gonna tell me around the back. I pulled around there. She said, you just park here and walk around there. I said, no, I'm not. I knew she was setting me up. I said, no, I'm not parking. Had my window down. I said, no, I'm not walking nowhere. I'm roadside. I will not be walking anywhere. So the one little Edomite laughs at the other one. What's the other one? I said, these little wicked devils. I pulled around, pulled right back up. Because they heard my music. We are coming back. You're mad, Edom? She just got judged. Basically tried to make me park my car somewhere so it could have been possibly towed. So after I went around, I came back. It was a brother who was in uniform packing up. I said, hey, can you please tell me where I can go? He said, right here. I said, it's funny because these Edomite women, well, I didn't say Edomite. I said, it's these funny white women just told me I had to go away around the back. He said, no, you go right here. I said, see, white girls can't get nothing right. Becky, they can't do nothing right. That was funny. Unbeknownst to her, she don't know who she was coming for, what she did that to. I'm sure the Most High dealt with her on that. Oh, he said, please be. Bro, I gotta hold my jaw. For my sakes, too, I got to behave. I'd be like, Father, let's keep the humor down to a notch. Turn the notch down to about like 3. Let's get off the 8 notch and going down to 3. Come on. All right, let's get on back to 1 Peter 2. Boom, verse 6. Wherefore, Also, it is contained in scripture. Behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. You know what the confounded's going to be? Remember, he said, he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. Remember, he put confoundment in over in the languages. Was that Genesis 11? Come with me real quick. Let's go on down here to Genesis 11. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east. They're journeying from the east. Where are they going to? That they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, go, let us make us brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime, and they for mortar. So, remember I was talking about that? The one that said, let us lay aside all mile, all gallus, all gall hypocrisies. So that's look like a brick one. That's a brick stone with slime in between it. That's not precious. But this is what they built. And they said one to another, go, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime they had for mortar. And they said, go, let us build us a city and a tower, even in their streets, asphalt. Our streets are gold. Their streets are asphalt. Whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. Where does scattering come from? He scattered us when we did what? Broke his commandments. So if they're saying, let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered, lest we be caught in this agenda to make our own way to him, we got to come up with a name. So anybody gets scattered, they'll be stumbling upon what name. Think about this. Think about it, family. And Ahai came down to see the city and tower, which the children of men builded on wickedness. That's what I'll type next to it. They're building on wickedness. They're in one accord with wickedness. And Ahai said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do. So they weren't in confoundment. They were all one, which means they all understood each other. They were all in agreement. Okay? Unlike the day of Pentecost, they were in agreement on wickedness. Okay? And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go, let us go down and there confound their language. Confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So he that believed on, where we at? Verse 6. He that believed on him shall not be confounded. So if you're one in the Most High through his word, you were brought back to the original state. You're not in the confoundment of the languages. Not based upon him in oneness of language, and one with him with spirit. Okay. What was that? 7. Unto you, therefore, which believe, he is precious. That's right. Because he's not precious to everybody else. That's why they got these new images. Or this other image of a white guy. He's precious to them. But unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner. And a stone of stumbling, a rock of offense. They find this gospel offensive to them because they're disobedient unto his word. You disallowed his word to make you precious. So you're offended and you don't believe in him. They think they believe in him. But they don't believe in him. Whereunto also they were appointed. They were appointed vessels for destruction. Romans 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into the marvelous light. How do you show forth the praises? Your obedience, he sees that stone glowing. Oh, there we go. That's my precious child. can find a virtuous woman, virtuous wife. In other words, who can find a precious stone? Nobody's looking for the average. Nobody's really pressed about, like, if you see a crown with all diamonds, they're all diamonds. But if I see a little ruby in the middle, that ruby gonna stick out, and all these other ones just become diamonds. In other words, everybody is their unique. Everybody's a unique stone to him, based upon your tribes too. Because remember, the priest's ephod, each tribe had a stone representation. So I say me, I'm Benjamin. Okay, so ours is like they would call it jasper. All right, it's kind of like an amber, but with brick, but not ugly like brick. Okay. Here's jasper. Okay. And then I have something else I can share with you all for your tribes. Hi, Zion. Grand Risings. How's your sleep? Oh, you ain't touch your strudel. If you're hungry, then I'll make you pancakes for waffles when I'm done. I'm almost done. Trying to find that one box I packed up. No, there it go. Put my Bible papers in it. My biblical stuff. We are coming back. We are coming back. American soldiers waging war with Zion. Racing for Yeshua. You gonna tear that little funny looking behind, so oh, I'm gonna be so grateful when he showed. Okay, so this is a calendar I got from somebody that shows the stones. Okay, Zebulon's is diamond. Okay, Zebulon. I want to say it with some. I want to say it. Zebulon, the diamond. Joseph, the onyx. Beautiful black stone. So when you see Joseph, you gotta remember it's Ephraim, okay? Because Joseph, Ephraim took Joseph's place. All right, Benjamin. Jasper. Okay. Reuben. Sardis. I don't really care about the name. Like, I'm not sure about the name, but it's something kind of close to ours. That's amazing. Because grandma, mommy said we got some of them. Simeon. Topaz.
Why is that one?
Topaz.
I like that one most.
You like that one the most? Carbuncle. I can't really say that one. Levi. Red. Which would make sense because you want to, it's like he wants them to stand out because he was this priest tribe. Like a ruby. Judah. Ooh, 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 Judah. Emerald, that's yours. Mm-hmm. Now I was gonna actually name him Judah in my stomach. You know, should have did it. Which is Zion now. Dan. Okay. Okay. Barrel.
I like it.
I like it too. This is the actual stone that. This is the body of Yeshua. Remember we used those colors? Is it look something like this color?
A little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Notice in the background it's blue too. Naphtali. So I can go to some. It's kind of like
a reddish blue.
It's kind of like the one with the Levi. So far, because I kind of question the people that I've gotten this from, which is they give you the ISR scriptures. So he has an Antioch yarn on too. So I to some extent felt that their base was upon the Jewish thing, because honestly, I really feel that Beryl should have been to Judah. I really do. Because remind you, emerald is the beryl. When we look beryl up, did it not say Judah? I mean, did it not say beryl and emerald? So that doesn't belong to Dan, because Dan ain't even sealed. So give that right back to Judah. Okay. And Naphtali and Levi Stone can't be the same either. I'm not trying to be funny, but through spirit discernment, they like I said, they were slightly off. So unfortunately, we don't really know which one it was which. Gad, Zebby and Daddies, Zebediah's and Daddies, not Sean's.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. It's like a brown. It's like a black with a white. Cloudy white on there. Gad. Mm-hmm. The seers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like a storm is coming. Mm-hmm. All right. Asher. It's like a purple stone. Asher. Yeah. Come on, Asher.
I love the sky.
Beautiful. It's like the sky when it's in that. It's beautiful when the sky's in that zone.
So let me try it.
It's a car. It's a car. Sapphire.
It looks like a diamond, like blue.
Mm-hmm. It's a car. Hey, it's a car. Shout out to the Mexicans. Yes, that's Issachar. They known as Mexicans. Yes, it's a car. Man of hire. Man of hire. Hard workers. So they give you the name, the meanings about. So let me go back and read the names for each tribe. We'll do that. Okay. So I don't even know why Zebulon's first. Like now, okay. Yeah. I guess they go according to the months or something. I don't know.
I should be like the first one is Reuben, right?
Exactly. Reuben is the first born.
Judah, and then
Judah's the fourth son.
Oh.
Yep, but he's the first reigning tribe because he got received the blessing for he was young. He was obedient from his youth. Always obeyed his parents. Zebulon, 10th son born to Leah, whose name means dwelling. Okay, name means dwelling. Okay, 10th son to Leah, whose name means dwelling. My. Joseph, 11th son born to Rachel, whose name means May Ahaya Ad, which means Ephraim is a fruitful bow. So he adds on. He was the Most High was Jacob's. How do I say this? Genesis 49. Hold on, we're not gonna forget 1 Peter 2. Let me get something real quick. Genesis 49. You watched a documentary on that yesterday too, like the Taino Indians. Y'all be surprised how similar our history is. How our people, though we are a nation of tribes, different tribes, how we prophetically fit prophecies in our own different ways. It's crazy. Genesis 49. I believe that's where it's at. Can you go in prayer and get a confirmation for me too on what hour?
What?
Just like I did last time.
I can't tell what it is.
I won't. I'm gonna wait till you come. You're welcome. All right, so Genesis 49 is where Jacob called his sons unto him and said, "Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days." Okay, so in other words, he needed to tell them these things so that it can be identified in the end, because it's like they knew from even Abraham. He told Abram, your children are going to be going to a far country. So they knew they had to tell them certain prophecies so that when their children were lost, they could have these identifications to find themselves, like Simba with Mufasa. Oh, praises. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. All right. I should rejoice in that. I rejoice, Father, for your grace and mercy. Thank you, baby. All right. Okay. How many times you hear it?
Oops.
I need more than that now. I need confirmation. Verily, verily. I'll wait. So gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Jacob your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Dignity, which means I'm not going to be moved by this.
3 times.
Darn.
Look up before it.
No, I know. So I know what that means. Then,
What does it mean, Mom?
nothing. It's not about that. I know what it's between. It's between me and him.
For what?
Always make sure you hear him 3 times, okay? Or 2. And when you hear it, don't jump. Don't jump. All right. So anyway, when you look at the tribes, it's the Native American tribes. This is how you know it's majority. Reuben is the Seminole tribes, because the Seminoles were the ones who, because of their dignity, they did not yield the way the other tribes did. They did not sign the peace treaty. They wanted to fight. He said, my might. They're like, we're going to fight you to the end. That's why they mock with Florida State, where they had to be pushed to the swamps and stuff, with the Gators as a college rival team against the Seminoles. It's the mockery in it. It's just like the Redskins and the Cowboys. Wicked. All right. So Joseph is okay, we're gonna read on. It says, unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defilest thou it when he went up to my couch. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. So they're nearby. They're nearby each other. Simeon and Levi, which people most say Dominicans and Haitians. Okay. O my soul, come not thou unto their secret, unto their assembly. Mine honor, be not thou united. He didn't want his soul to know about their secrets. He didn't want to know about their wickedness. Or what was the secrets that he was talking about? Keep me from that, Father. For thy anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. Self-will, doing things out of the Most High's approval. He did not get in the word to do that. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. So not even to this day, Dominicans and Haitians is all over the place. You go to Philly, you go to New York, they out here amongst us. You can't really tell. Even like when I went to school, while I was pregnant with Zebediah, it was a brother about as dark as like me, and he was Dominican. But he really thought he was better than us. Like black people, I'm like, bro, you only holding on to a byword. You all the way Negro, so stop. You're all the way us. I met his mom, and she just was a sweetheart. She loved to cook. She wanted to cook for all the events because it was a CNA school.
How old are you?
Well, Zebediah was in my stomach, so he was like 4.
You're going to school at 4? I'm what?
CNA schools, Remember when you was in Bible school? Maranatha?
You should be like graduating at 18.
Zion, that's not that kind of school, son.
Oh.
It was certified nurse assistant.
Oh.
See, there you go.
But still.
All right, stay a child. All right, childlike manner. All right, good job. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Okay, we have to get Judah, and I'll just go back to Benjamin's. Judah is the bearer, okay? We're not going to let this person who did this, because they made it all the way up, okay? They did the best they could, though. Bless their little hearts. Okay, Judah, which we're going to give you the emerald, okay? We're going to just forget that's to say Dan. Just see that, okay? Judge. Okay, so, all right, wait. Judah, go ahead. For son born to Leah, whose name means yet Ahiah be praised. Let Ahiah be praised. Not know what they put here. They put the Tetragrammaton. Let Ahiah be praised. Okay, so Leah was in her times with Jacob. You remember Jacob he didn't really favor Leah. He favored Rachel. So he kind of was like, whatever. I'll just make sure you get your daily rounds, but I'm not really going to give you the intimacy, the relationship. I'm not going to let you feel like what you should feel. And so at her fourth son, she was like, I done gave you about 3 children. You ain't going, here goes the 4th child. You're not going to love me still. You know what? I'm going to just praise the Most High at this point because I'm over it. Boom. So Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. So all the other tribes are going to recognize when Judah, the lion, rises up against these daggone nations, the Edomites. When we put our neck on hand, I'm talking about the house of Judah. You know what I'm saying? But Judah in specifically, which is the tribe of Judah, they're going to rouse up. And it's also the house too, because he uses Benjamin and Levi, of course, to start the awakening against our enemies. And then when they see all the other us, just like the world copies us and everything else, they're gonna be, oh yeah, they talking about righteous. We the people. Telling you.
Mom, did you do all of it already?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what to say?
Verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He crouched as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? He will not be moved. You're going to wait till the lion is bring back the prey. What did you get today? Sarabi. I know. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be. So Judah is going to be the tribe that brings the gathering of the tribes together. And includes the house, which is Benjamin and Levi. Yep. The Most High said he would save the tents of Judah first. That's right. Because we are in a place that's not our own. Once he had to save us first, because if he didn't save us, we wouldn't be able to save our brethren. We wouldn't be able to wake the other ones up. So Judah got to be saved first, which means the dwellings of Judah got to wake up. And where is majority of Judah at? We're here in America, a.k.a. Azeroth. Turtle Island, what you want to call it? Okay, so the scepter shall not depart from Judah, which means the lawgiver. We're going to be the one to tell you about, like, greetings, brother Shav King. Welcome, bro. Peace received from you, peace given unto you. Okay, and so, like, though this is why Judah's so hated. This is why our people treated so badly, because these nations know that we're going to be the reason for their awakening, and that the law is not going to depart from us. So they use the law of their mischief to afflict us, the lawgivers. But oh, be mindful, oh, you judges of the earth. Take heed. Because those who you afflict, though we might have been disallowed by men, oh, the chief commander and the chief comes out of Judah. Binding his fowl unto the vine, and his ass colt unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, his teeth white with milk. That is another trait that Judah particularly had. White teeth, white eyes. But it said red with wine. I guess they would perceive that would mean his eyes were red, like he drank a lot of wine. He wasn't no drunkard, though. Okay. Let's get that to your brain.
I need to get out of the shower now.
Okay, Zion. Zebulon. I believe that's the first one we did. Okay. It means dwelling, okay? Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Like the little islands, I guess. Issachar, and who did they say Zebulon was? I'm not sure. I remember. Does anybody know who Zebulon is? Because the chart is an approximately, according to scripture, by locations of where our people are. I'm not trying to say because if you're Jamaican that you are automatically Benjamin. Like, remember, the majority of Judah is here. So within the house of Judah is Benjamin and Levi. So in America, you have Benji and Levi here too. Straight up, because he told me mine was Benji. And ain't nobody taking it from me. Nobody know what Zebulon is? Let's carry on. All right. Oh, Issachar. Issachar, which I think is back here. Okay, Issachar, the ninth son born to Leah, whose name means man of hire. Issachar is a strong ass, crouching down between two burdens. And he saw the rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. Yeah, they're hardworking people for real. And they're humble with it. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Jacob. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path that biteth the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. In other words, y'all ever hear that saying? I have seen servants riding on horses and kings walking beside it. Yet I don't understand why Dan is not sealed. Something going on with Dan. I have waited for thy salvation, O Ahiah. Okay. Let me get the stone for Dan. Now I see why it says it was beryl too, because Dan is waiting for Yeshua, which is the king, which because he redeems us. So if they did slip, it says to a son born about whose name means judge. That means they've been judged, I guess. We say they receive a judgment. No, that doesn't seem too right. Name means judge. So the lawgiver comes from Judah, and Dan is the one that is execute the judging. But we don't see Dan sealed. Doesn't maybe necessarily mean that that Dan cannot be amongst the multitude, because waiting for thy salvation is like waiting to be redeemed or like saved, from sin. And so I said, oh, I have waited for that salvation. Oh, Wahaya. Gad. Okay. Get the one for Gad. Seventh son born to Zilpah, whose name means good fortune. Okay, Gad. A troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. All right. Asher, out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. So fruitful, rich in dough. Would you say? Because you're talking about royal dainties and bread, fat. This is Asher. Eighth son born to Zilpah, whose name means happy. If you eating good, you gonna be happy. Naphtali. Sixth son born to Bila, whose name means my wrestling. Naphtali is a hind let loose. Come on, makes sense. He giveth goodly words. Wrestles with the words. Oh yeah, I ain't doing a good job all this time.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Here, Zion, you want to hold it for me and find the tribes?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Bless you.
I can read it again, I guess.
All right. You want to hold it like, well, let me see. Well, you can hold however you feel. All right. Joseph is a fruitful bow. We know this is speaking of Ephraim, okay? Even a fruitful bow by well, whose branches run over the wall. Plenty children.
Is this Joseph?
No, it would be Joseph, because which is actually Ephraim. Okay. And the 11th son born to Rachel, whose name means may Ahiah add. Yes, he will add your fruit. Okay, so remember Joseph was taken from his family and the Most High increased him. All right. Rejected of man, but chosen of Ahiah. So it's speaking of Yasha because the word is written of him. Okay. And all of the brothers bow down to the tribe of Judah because Yasha comes out of Judah. All right. Get those ashes out. Okay. The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. So the brothers have sorely grieved Joseph. The other tribes have vexed him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty one of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Jacob. Who is the stone of Jacob? Yasha, the rock of our salvation. Okay, show that one. Okay, good. The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors. Unto the utmost abound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the grand rising, Zebediah. Grand rising, Zebediah. All right. Everlasting, okay, the blessing of my progenitors unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, aka Ephraim, remember, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. Mm-hmm. Remember, the tribes were separated. The northern and southern kingdom were separated with Ephraim and Judah. Okay, but the Most High is going to bring us back. Oh, what a glorious day! All these are the. Oh, excuse me. How could I forget? My tribe, Benji.
Oh. It stinks.
Oh, lady.
Yes.
She look at you like. It's your lady. Her wants to be the part of it. Ain't your girl. Ain't your girl. Benji, I think I'm on the very end. Oh, to the top.
Oh my God.
Don't say G.O.D.s at me. Simeon. Benjamin. There we go. Come on. The 12th son born to Rachel, who names the son's name means son of the right hand. Come on. Please don't mess with the Benji. Come on. We started off with King Saul, but we ended it with Paul. You understand? We might have started off wrong with Saul going off, but Paul came through hard. He finished that thing for our tribe, boy. Even Hadassah out of the tribe of Benjamin.
What tribe is David?
David's been Judah. Oh. Yeah, house of Judah. That's right. Because remember, Yasha came out of the house of David. Okay, so it's Judah, the son of David. People to be out of Judah from the house of David was like, ooh, you know what I mean? Okay. What was I getting ready? Oh, let me read mine. Oh, that's right. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf in the morning. He shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. If this ain't true, all these are the 12 tribes of Jacob, and this is that their father spake to them and blessed them. Everyone according to his blessing, he blessed them. That's right. We wake up in the rising. We come hard in the morning.
Now, what time is Lady?
Lady is a cocker poodle. Okay, she's a cocker spaniel and she's a poodle.
One of these.
She ain't there one of them because she's in my house, so she's under Benji and she's under the house of the righteous. So we all we got Judah in here, we got Ephraim, we got Benjamin, we got Gad. So we have a house of 4 right here. But we under Daddy, so we consider it as the house of Gad.
I thought you were in our house. Just
It's
now.
Lady. Her name's Lady Faith. That's what her name.
Cute.
That's what it's all about.
Her name is Lady.
Let's get back to 1 Peter 2.
Wait.
I want to finish something. See if y'all remember y'all stones. Remember the beautiful stones y'all colored?
Mhm.
We're going to finish breaking down something with the stones y'all did.
Here, Mom. Can I look up one that has made in it?
Sure, absolutely. We got some rocks in the shed you can use. We'll do that today after we do our sewing of the fringes. All right. So, boom. No, you ain't going nowhere. You sit right here on my lap. Stop being fidgy. All right. So, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that you should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into the marvelous light. We are supposed to be showing forth the praise of him because he called us out of darkness into marvelous light. We need to be in constant praise, constant, day in, day out. I'm talking about if you're having a hard time sleeping, instead of counting, she'd be like, praise the higher, thank you, higher, love you, higher, thank you, Father, I love you, higher, bless your child, bless be your word, bless you. Do that till you fall asleep. All right, can't go wrong. Okay. Which in time past, who is this? Okay, devil, I rebuke you. Which in time past were not a people, but are the people of Ahiah, which had not. So we was not a people before. That is another rebuke that people running around here talking about they Jewish and all this. You never had that opportunity. You never had that time it was not a people. Holocaust don't fit the prophecy. Stop. Holocaust don't fit the bill. Okay. Coming up short. Can't even get your numbers right on that. Holocaust. Probably was our people who really was dying in the Holocaust. You want to get technical. Adolf Hitler, he knew who the real people were. He knew who the real Jews was. This was the Swarties. The Swarties. Lady, what's she doing? Which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of Ahiah, which have not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul. Having your conversation honest among the Gentiles. That whereas they speak against you as evildoers, that's what y'all doing. Y'all think we evildoers because we're not for your false narrative of peace. We don't represent your fake little religion and doctrines. We speak against it and we rebuke your false image. They may by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify Ahiah in the day of visitation. So what is our good works? Anyways, doing the worst highest commandments. You can't, they might be like, oh, they don't want to receive your religion. But we're rebuking. You mad at us because we don't want to eat unclean food? You mad at us because we keep the Sabbath day? You mad at us because we go according to as it is written? You got to glorify the Father on that. You got to be grateful. Somebody woke up and showed you the way. As free and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness. We're sovereign. We're free away from y'all. We're out of bondage. Not physically, spiritually. We're not bound to this place no more. But we will physically walk it out through faith. But as servants of Ahiah. So we are his servants. We don't serve y'all no more. You can't manipulate us. What is a cop? What is a judge? Romans, what was that? If Ahiah be for us, who can be against us? Romans 8:35. As free and not, okay, we read that. Okay. Verse 17. Honor all men. Which means we're not going to be like, okay, if a cop come by, like, I don't want to honor you by not, I'm going to abide by the laws. But if you come up to me with some nonsense, You present to me your natural mind conversation. I'm going to present to you my spiritual conversation. I don't care how agitated you get. I'm not stooping to your level. Matter of fact, I'm up you here. You're down there. I'm not stooping to your level. License registration. I'm sorry. I'm born again. I don't possess those things. I'm sorry. I don't have that. I don't have papers. Okay, I'm going to put you in jail. Okay, put me in the jail. Behold, the devil shall throw something to you in prison. But be thou faithful unto death. You be tried for 10 days, but be thou faithful unto death. They're going to try you and try you. They're not going to have anything they're going to put against you. They're not going to have nothing they can say against you. In other words, tormenting you like the Maccabees. You going to eat this pork now? You going to take this vaccination now? Follow my nails. It's like this. I'm preparing myself by any means necessary, Father. If you see fit for me to die for you, I'm gonna die for you. If you see fit for me to never have to see death and be taken by the chariots, I'm gonna be taken by the chariots. If I gotta endure a little bit to and come into both possibly and escape death, so be it. You know what I give a John Brown? Honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear Ahiah, honor the king, honor all men. He didn't call y'all men. I'm gonna just put that on that side note. Some of y'all is not even men. Some of y'all, he even called the Canaanite woman a dog. So, in other words, we abide by laws that are lawful unto our Father, but we don't acknowledge any laws that are unlawful. They said the three chosen children that was in the fiery furnace, they showed you that. They told Nebuchadnezzar, we're not afraid to answer you. In other words, we're not scared of you. You ain't the ultimate authority. Throw us in the fire. Throw us in the fire. Yeah, yeah. Knock me up. Yeah, yeah. Throw away the key. Yeah, yeah. Remember that one movie? I said, but dear, what was that? What was that movie? I know, Brother Hollis. I told you to behave. What's going on with that threat? Both of y'all in here now, because I'm nearly done. In here now. In here now. Servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the forward. In other words, do your good works regardless of how people present themselves to you. Because it's unto the Most High who is the ultimate judge. Not saying be subject to people who will say, I want to rape you or eat this pork. Now, he's not saying that. Don't go and say, okay, my master told me to eat some pork. My master told me to have 3, 4, 5 people in the bed with me. No, and a no. We're not doing that. Okay? Good and gentle, ain't nobody good but the Father. To the righteous and those who handle the sheep as gentle as a good shepherd. So when you see the word, you just think about a shepherd, okay? Those that oversee the Most High's people by being ministers or edifiers or exhorters or teachers or preachers or whatever, prophets or seers or however it may be. For this is thankworthy if a man for conscience toward Ahiah endure grief, suffering wrongfully. So if you are blameless, Most High gonna deal. Remember they had Nat Channel saying, or in the Harry Terry movie, now be subject to your masters. Not just when they're looking now, but when they're not looking. But were they masters over our soul? Were they good and gentle? Were they backing the word of the Most High up? No. They were deceivers. They are the serpent seed. See, when Eve subjected herself to the serpent, it brought forth sin. So you must have discernment and wisdom and understand who you subject yourselves to and who you don't. Most High ain't no daggone coon. He didn't call you to be abused. Just because they do it and judgment don't go as quick, don't mean it won't happen. When I get off, we're gonna have our word and stuff. And have our sort of thing.
Every piece has its own personality and fits neatly into the dozen.
Turn that down a little bit, Zebby. I was supposed to play me a song. I already played the song. Okay. For what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently. But if when ye do well and suffer for it, you take it patiently. This is acceptable with the highest. Okay. Sometime, if you are in a position of being raped, it's out of your hand. But don't worry. Most I got something for them. And I always mean use rape, but it's like you got to think about all the things that our ancestors have endured. And things we are enduring today. But that's going to be the Father's justification of why he brings his vengeance and why he does not provide them any mercy. If there's no one suffering anything, what needs be judgment? Aren't you grateful that you were chosen to be able to suffer for the sake of him rather than just suffer for suffering's sake? He ain't calling you to go through things just for nothing, just because he think it's fun or it's a sport like they do. For hereunto ye are called, because Yeshua also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps. Who did no sin, neither was no guile found in his mouth. Who, when there's no guile in the word. Who, when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself unto him that judgeth righteously. Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we being dead to sins should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes we are healed. For ye were as sheep going astray, but are now returned unto the shepherd and bishop of your soul. So don't get it twisted. When we read these scriptures to y'all, they may think that's hate crime or that's hate speech. No, we're reading as what is written. And trust and believe me, Yahshua spoke as it was written. He didn't need to speak about the prophets rebuking the nations because his job on the earth was to bring us back. It wasn't to bang on y'all. He gonna do that in action. He's coming to do the banging. He didn't need to waste his time doing that. We're the arrows that he sent that we can do that for him. We're the little sparks and little fires, like the little meteorites. And y'all can't even take us. Y'all think y'all ready for your show? Stop kidding yourself. Jesus ain't coming. There anything anybody want to share before I go? Questions or anything of the such? This is the time to do it. All right, fine. Let's see if I can play a song on this one. Maybe no. Well, I've been on here for a while, so I got to get off. And y'all, it's another thing I want to say to my righteous brothers and sisters who have the Father's Spirit, and come in the name of Ahai. Now, if you try to pray against this in whatever other name you're doing, you're only going to hurt yourself. So I'm just telling you, step aside. I'm asking for prayer, family, and concerns too, because as y'all know, we got to believe in here. We ain't really pressed about that. The situation is they intended to come in here and take pictures, because what happened was the one who owns this place or possesses by thievery now is being taken from him by his older brother. His older brother and wife are those who actually leased to the girl I beat up. Okay, the lady I beat up. And out of her resentment and her anger and all that, having it out for me, and man, my husband didn't want her. She has been sowing seeds of strife and contention and discord to bring forth, just to try to get us out of here. And so they're actually wanting us to take pictures of the place so they can, post it. But first of all, you already know how Father and I feel about graven images. That's one. And for two, taking pictures of this place without my stuff in the picture is like, I feel a violation to me. I feel, okay, Father said settle. Never mind. I forgot it. But yeah, they just wanted to take pictures. Settled as you could. It's done. He's saying it's done. So don't really stress yourselves about it. Neither should I. But at first, when they told, my husband was like, "No, you're not coming," because they was like, "We're gonna come in here Wednesday morning at 9:00 a.m. to do pictures and stuff like that, or whatever. Look at the place." And my husband was like, "No, you're not coming in here, especially during COVID." And my health home aides even allowed to come in here. You're not coming here till we're gone. So he said, I'll talk to my brother, and then he talked to his brother, and his brother was like, can he take pictures? First of all, why would you want to take pictures with us in here and with like our stuff and process of us going? It's like you just want to be nosy. Like Esau just wants to be nosy. You can't wait till the place is swept and garnished so you demons can come back with 7 more demons worse than yourself and look at the place and take all the pictures you want. Because then if I take the pictures and it ain't what you want, they don't understand. We are so in the Father. Believe me when we tell you we're in the Father. Like, we don't got time to be even concerned ourselves with the cares of this world like that. It's like, it's them trying to taunt us. It's them wanting to say, join us in taunting you. Like, we're getting ready to hang you. Pick out your favorite dress. Nah. Who is this on my joint? Is that no? I know I did not type no ha and hi. Who's doing that? Who's typing in here? Num. Zebediah's doing it. Anywho, asking us to take pictures. Like when persons take a picture and upload it. Now, mind you, the lease is already stopped. We're in 30-day of grace, which means we don't have to abide by your lease agreements to, if you want to come in and look and show pictures, show you. I don't care if this is your properties or not. I have personal rights of privacy, and I'm not taking no pictures. And I'm so glad my father said it's settled. He said it twice. This is the second time he told me settled. Because you know how father do. Majority of the time, we ain't even got to ask him, and it already be done. So he see his child a little trouble. Oh, it's bothering you, daughter? Oh, okay. I got it. All right, Zebediah, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and get off here because Zebediah's having a ball in the daggone chat with his little self. With his little fingers. Bless his little fingers heart. I love y'all so very much. I take it there's no questions or comments or things of that such. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Pray that you all were edified and that the word of this, that the seed of this word will produce its fruit in due season. Some 30, some 60, some 100-fold. And not only that, but you always remember to put on the spirit of praise for the times of heaviness. And also have joyful enduring. Love you all. Peace and blessings. Hey, now, peace be still.